Royal British Legion recently celebrated 90 years as an organisation, and of course its reach comes out all the way here to Thailand, with Tropical Berths being the official headquarters of the Royal British Legion here in Thailand. And last year they held their first service of remembrance here at St Nicholas Church. Well, today is the 11th of November. It's coming up to 11 o'clock, and at 11 minutes past 11 we will have the second service of remembrance. And of course this year it's even a little bit more special because it's the year 2011.
Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them he hath set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. The Lord of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord is sure, are right. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much more fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then I shall be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy light, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer.
Now, gracing us with his presence here today for the second remembrance service in Pattaya is the British Ambassador, His Excellency Asif Ahmed. Your Excellency, welcome back to Pattaya. It's nice to see you again.
Well, good morning.
Tell me, this is our second service. Went very well, I believe.
It did, and it's no matter where it's held, Remembrance Day is always going to be moving. And today was very special with the 11th of the 11th of the 11th at 11 a.m. I mean, the sequence was just too great. And when you see today, as we have done, our army soldiers who have served in Afghanistan who are here today, that really brings it home to you. These are young people who are giving their best years in the service of their country.
Indeed. Well, you're right. It's great to see the young and the old, of course, because there was many veterans here today, as well as many dignitaries. In Bangkok, is there anything of this nature going on in Bangkok? I understand, obviously, a lot of things have been postponed.
Mm-hmm. Now, we were determined that we were going to carry on with the annual Sunday Remembrance service, and I said we would do it in rain, flood or dry. So far we're drier. It'll be a slightly more simple affair, but we'll do exactly what everybody does throughout the United Kingdom and indeed all parts of the world and mark this special day.
Well, it's very good that you came down to join us today, because last year was, if you like, their toe in the water, and they weren't sure how it was going to go, and it was a great success. Today, I think they've even went further with having the schools involved, and I really liked what was said in part of the service, that how the young people, the school children, should come to services like this, so that they can actually get like a touchstone as to what actually happened in history, and see that why war should, if possible, be avoided.
Last year, after the Remembrance Sunday at the embassy, I had a conversation with the Royal British Legion, and we together decided that we should change it a little bit and bring the message home to younger people in the way we have done. And the explanation, I think, was also required, because a lot of people come to this not really knowing what it was.
Sure.
And I think there can be no one in any doubt now that this is about remembering those who gave their lives, the veterans who are here in plenty numbers and in good sprightly health too, and then of course the young. So I think it was fitting that it should be done this way, and I hope that will become the new tradition.
Your Excellency, nice to see you again, and hopefully see you again sometime here in Pattaya. Thank you very much. Okay, we were talking about some of the young people here from some of the schools, but also some of the veterans. Joining me now is Malcolm Glennie. Malcolm, what did you think of today's service?
I was thoroughly impressed. I was here last year, and the numbers were nothing like this year, and the representation from the dignitaries is much, much greater this year. I think it's a step in the right direction, certainly a step up.
Good. And you're right, and also it was a little bit more of a diverse service, wasn't it, in a way. Malcolm, give us a bit of your background, please.
Well, you may have guessed, I've served in the Royal Navy for 25 years, from the age of 15 to the age of 40. I left from school at 15 and went into the engineering branches and became an electrical engineer. And I served all over the world in many, many ships. All of them have now gone to scrap, and served in several shore establishments abroad, in Singapore, Hong Kong and in the UK, and did some teaching and did all sorts of stuff. Very good way of getting a good training and a wide experiences to join one of the armed forces.
You are also a very active member of the Royal British Legion here in Thailand. Tell us a little bit about what that involves for you, and or what it means to you, maybe more.
Well, actually, I'm not all that active. I'm a founder member of the British Legion, and I was for a while the vice chairman. But I have so many other things going on, I kind of had to put the Legion on the back seat. I still like to go in occasionally and have a drink with the guys, but unfortunately other things that I do prevent me from going on their long trips to Kanchanaburi and to Malaysia and so on. But I'm still very, very keen, and I hope that some of my other commitments maybe next year will die off, and I'll be able to do some of these splendid trips that the British Legion actually conducts every year to the River Kwai and so on.
I believe, and we'll maybe get confirmation from this from Bert in a moment, but I believe the Poppy appeal this year has been particularly well received.
So I hear. Every year, of course, they try to make more and more money, which is natural. And I believe this year it's been particularly good. I don't have the figures, but I've been told from the Poppy organisers that they've done extremely well.
Well, as they did with the service today, and as I'm sure they will, not just yet next year, but in the years to come as well.
I'm sure so, yeah, I'm sure. As this gains popularity, you see, the expat community is quite tight-knit, and it's growing. And I think, together with our links with Bangkok now, well-established links with other organisations of a similar esprit, I think the Poppy appeal will only get better, and I think the Legion will only get better and stronger.
Well said, Malcolm. Thanks very much. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Paul.
Thank you. Okay, joining me now, a familiar face. It's Bert from Tropical Bert, who is the Secretary and the Welfare Chair for the Royal British Legion Thailand. Bert, congratulations on yet another well-placed and very successful service.
Thanks very much, Paul, and thanks for coming. It's our second service of remembrance here at St Nicholas's. I like to think we've improved on the first year. I enjoyed the service. I think everybody else did, especially the school children being here. But it's done its job. It's made people remember.
Well, again, that's what it's all about. Now, I want to ask you something. This poppy, and I was admonished because someone said, look, he hasn't got a poppy on, but I do have one. It's maybe a little bit discreet. But your poppy is slightly different. What's happening with it?
Yeah, it is different. First of all, yours we class as cheating on Remembrance Day. Okay, but no, it's great to see you wearing it. The one I'm wearing is actually a Thai veterans poppy. Not a lot of people know that the Thailand has their own Poppy Day, which is the 2nd of February, and it's their Veterans Day. We were invited along to Chonburi camp last year, which is where we made our contacts with the Thai military who were here today, and we noticed their poppies, and we were all given one. Well, we all bought one, and I actually bought 50. But whatever money we get for them, actually, it goes to our poppy appeal until February when it goes to this.
Of course. Now, I believe, and I don't know if you know the figures, but someone mentioned to me when I was coming in that the poppy appeals, well, actually, it went very well.
We've got at least, I would say, 1 million baht at the moment.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's mainly through corporate. But we've had our Bangkok members have done a sponsored bike ride from Bangkok to Phuket over 8 days. They're all a bit saddle sore now at the moment, but they hope to have raised about 500,000 baht on that. We've got our Poppy Golf tournament going on today. I know we've already got 500,000 baht for that. Like I said, sponsors, corporate sponsors. Can I mention some?
By all means, please do.
Yeah, the Royal Bank of Scotland have come in as main sponsors for the Poppy Golf. MGMB, London 360, Pattaya Realty, and a number of others. But they're the top ones. And then we've got our poppy boxes that we've yet to collect. So we're going to be over 1 million baht. And in all honesty, we spent 500,000 baht on welfare last year. We're spending every day on people in Thailand welfare. The more we get known about, the more we're needed. So we do need the money. Mm-hmm.
And it's great that you're getting that support, because, there's lots of things going on, especially obviously with the recent floodings. But the reality is that, the poppy appeal is something that's an annual thing, and it's something that's actually, it's the lifeblood, really, of what you do, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The majority of our welfare fund comes in through the poppy appeal, not just in Thailand, but throughout the world. And then that money can only be used for dependents, or I should say beneficiaries, those that have served, or their dependents. And so that money goes to them.
All right. Okay, we'll actually, Bert mentioned the Poppy Golf, which is taking place now at Khao Kio Golf, but we will actually be covering the prize giving a little bit later on in this program, so you can stay tuned for that. In the meantime, Bert, thanks very much. Nice to see you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Remembrance Day. Tough and strong the soldiers fought. Some died. I feel so distraught. So now we stand here, bowing our heads, for the people who fought and for the people who are dead. Remember our friends and family who died in war. Remember what people witnessed, what people saw. In many nations we wear poppies of blood red, from Flanders fields where bodies lay dead. We should all be thankful for the sacrifice made, and be respectful for the lives they gave. We will never forget, we shall all remember, the day of remembrance, the 11th of November.
Okay, you've just heard a poem that was written by a student at Regent School, actually a year 6 student, but it was read by a year 10 student for us. Now, from students to elderly, a veteran, Brian Davidson. Brian, it's very nice to meet you, sir, and very nice of you to come to today's service. Were you here last year?
I was.
And
Something I wouldn't miss.
Something you wouldn't miss, of course not. And what did you think of today?
It was a very moving, well-organized ceremony. Very moving.
Okay. Now, you're not a young man, are you, sir?
No, no.
How many years young are you?
86.
86. Well done. So you are a veteran.
Yes.
Could you give us a little bit of your background, please?
I joined the RAF during the war. I served during the war. And that took me through France and Belgium and Holland and into Germany up to the end of the war. And then I stayed in the Air Force for 22 years. My job was fighter controller. I wasn't a pilot, unfortunately. So I had that life, and then I had to come out and form a new life.
Okay. And your new life is here in Thailand?
I've been here 7 years now.
Wow.
And I still can't speak Thai.
Well, I'm exactly the same. I can order 2 beers, but that's about it.
I don't think I could order 2 beers. I can order water.
You can order water. Well, it's obviously doing you very well. You're looking remarkable.
I feel remarkable. I find the people here remarkable. That's important. Who you've got around you.
You know what? You're absolutely right. And I heard you saying to the young lady there from Regents to keep smiling, and the Thai smile. It's an overused term, but actually it's so true, and I think it inspires men of your generation, it inspires everybody.
It does, completely, absolutely.
Okay.
Because it's usually a genuine smile.
Indeed. Okay. Brian, I'm sure we shall see you here next year, sir.
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay. Listen, I think we're going to wrap it up here. It has been a service to remember. Excuse the pun. It's been very nice here down at St Nicholas Church. Our thanks to the Royal British Legion, to the British Ambassador, His Excellency Asif Hamid, the students from Regents and Garden, and also to the veterans and the different dignitaries who came along today to make this the second service of remembrance in Pattaya, a very special one on the 11th of the 11th of the 11th in the year 2011. This is Paul for PMTV. See you again. Thank you very much, Brian.
Battles and fears of their own. There's a price to be paid if you go, if you stay. Freedom's fought for and won in numerous ways. Take 2 minutes, put your mind. It's a pittance of time for the boys and the girls all over. May we never forget our young become vets at the end of the line. It's a pittance of time.
Okay, now by the magic of television, we've fast forwarded some 8 hours and we've came about 4 kilometres south from St Nicholas Church down to the tavern. Now in that time, some of the people, after the cucumber sandwiches and tea and coffee at St Nicholas, hit Tropical Bert's for a few shandies, shall we say?
Absolutely.
And of course, a whole bunch of other guys, about 150 of them, were out at Cowkeo Country Club for, of course, the Poppy Golf. And now today we've retired here to the Tavern by the Sea, and joining me is the President of the Royal British Legion, a man who's someone who we often see here on Pattaya Mail and PMTV. It's Graham MacDonald. Graham, good evening, welcome, how are you?
Very well indeed, thank you. And you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's been a long day, but a very enjoyable one, and I believe so for not just the people that we were conversing with earlier, but also for the golfers.
I think the golfers have had a wonderful time. They've just been praising Derek for doing a great job for the day, and I haven't had one complaint yet.
Good. Well, that's very good. And the Tavern by the Sea, which of course is the old Henry J. Beans, they put on a fantastic meal. And I have to say as well, the beer, they're selling pints of Carlsberg for 100 baht, which is pretty good value for a 5-star hotel, isn't it?
They've done a wonderful job, and David coming and his staff have been superb, putting on, as you say, a magnificent spread at a very good cost, and putting on beer at prices that mean you just have to drink it, and it's such a shame that means water goes to the people who really need it as well.
Indeed, Graham. Okay. How do you top something like today? I mean, it's went very well, hasn't it? I mean, with the ambassador coming down, and we had the two pipers, and actually we should maybe mention them briefly on camera, because these two young gentlemen are both in their early 20s, I believe, and they were piping today at the church. Do you know anything about their background, Graham?
Well, they're from the Royal Scottish Regiment. They've recently come back from Afghanistan, where they've been serving. They're over here on holiday, and they very kindly agreed to participate in Remembrance Day today. And as you said, played a beautiful lament at the service. They're here for another few days, and then they go back.
Well, yeah, somebody said to me that they were going to be playing the lament, and one of them said, well, we played it recently, but we played it for real, for some of their colleagues who they'd lost in battle, which I have to say, it brings it home. I mean, it's a bit of a cliche, but it does. It brings it home, and it really makes you think. And obviously, of course, you know, we're thinking about the fallen from, you know, our people our age and our fathers and grandfathers. But as these young men, they're still out there fighting the fight.
Very much so, and Bert Elson said it well at the Remembrance Day service we had today. We like to get children involved in the event so that they understand what's going on. They're going to be the future leaders of the world. And as Bert said, we're here today remembering those who have fallen in the past and present. Hopefully the leaders in the future will be just remembering those who have fallen in the past.
Well, Graham, it's been quite a day, and I made a bit of a faux pas earlier, because I said that, of course, that Pattaya Mail would be joining for the third service of remembrance, and then Bert's telling me, well, actually, because of the leap year, it will fall, the 11th will fall on a Sunday, which means that St Nicholas Church won't be available. So it looks like we might have to make the trip up to the Big Mango.
Absolutely. We have a very successful day on Remembrance Sunday at the British Embassy, who put on an excellent do for us, both post and pre. And anybody who's welcome who wants to come up there. I'd just like to take some of the time from PMTV to thank our sponsors.
By all means.
Royal Bank of Scotland stepped in today as a title sponsor, and Royal London 360 have been superb as well. These are the people that have sponsored the tournament nationally, in Korat, in Chiang Mai, Bangkok, and down here as well. Without them, this thing could not exist.
Sure.
So a big thanks to them.
Okay, well said. And, you know, I think it's been a group effort all round, not just from the you know, this corporate sponsors that have came in, but from all the people. And I know a lot of you guys, you put a lot of work into this. And, I mean, today you could see for the service as well, and unfortunately I wasn't out at Cowkeo, but I would imagine that it was very well organised. It's a big job.
Oh, it's huge. Derek Brooke, our chairman, has done a fantastic job. ably supported by a lot of helpers. Bert did a wonderful good job organising the Remembrance Day service itself. He's given a lot of guidance to the embassy. And without those two and their host of supporters, days like this couldn't exist. So a big thanks needs to go to them too.
All right, I said to Bert earlier, he was saying it was about a million baht with the Poppy Appeal. You know what, you can still make a donation, you can still pop into Tropical Berts. If you've watched any part of this program and it's touched you in any way, come into Tropical Berts. You know what, just put 20 baht on, 100 baht, or maybe 500 baht. And you could have a beer at the same time and maybe some of his fine food. What could be better? Okay, this is Graham and Paul for PMTV. See you again. Bye-bye. Thank you very much, Graham. Thank you. Cheers.